Last time, his 60 cards struggled for identity, pulled in two directions, unsure of their path. But now, with lessons learned and determination renewed, will this be a pivot towards progress, or will the problems persist?
Power, Piper, and progress!
So if you've been keeping up with my chaos on Twitter, and if you haven't, go follow me, you already know that I've been chasing a new Zoroark list. With Phantasmal Flame on the horizon, there's a lot of decks running around. The meta is open, and that's exciting. It's time to adapt. The best way to get a new list is, well, to find one. I checked out the Azul GG build. This was the inspiration for the first episode's list, since I saw him play it on stream before the upload. I still felt something was off. Yeah, it got me halfway there, but I couldn't help myself. I tweaked it by adding Cornerstone Mask and some supporters, but with more and more changes, I kind of made the deck feel a little clunky, like it wanted two different things. So after locals, I took a step back, I did a little cleanup, went through my bulk, and started theory crafting. I knew that with Lily happening, if my ideas were bad, I could look at the highest Zoroark list from the event and play that one. And from my lips to God's ear, the first stream match was Piper, running the Fox. Right off the bat, I saw some major differences from my list prior. The glaring difference was the lack of lilies. See, about 2 weeks ago, there was a Discord regarding which lets you see more cards, Lily or Iono. The math pointed to Lily, but after watching Piper, I realized drawing cards isn't as important to the deck because you just trade through it all. Iono has the added benefit of scrambling your opponent's hand. There was also other changes, like Sereno. Luckily, she was active on social media and provided reasoning. Then came the riskier plays, the lack of Cornerstone, a singular Nest Ball, and to top things off, one Risharam? I couldn't abide by all these, mainly because I'm not built different, but some changes were made. First off, Absol, you're fired. It looked cool, sure, but it didn't do anything. I dropped it on the board and it just kind of stood there. It didn't flow with the rest of the deck, and honestly, I think I got distracted by the new shiny card. Secondly, Cornerstone Mask. Unfortunately, it had to go. Yes, it bought me time, but more often than not, it would just delay the inevitable. Everyone's already figured out a way to play around it, so it's time to move on. That wasn't even the craziest part of her list. She also debuted the Darmanitan, just when I was asking around. Piper managed to finish third at the regional, and so that's it. I think this is going to be the standard list until Mega Gengar. But before I settle down, I wanted to test something real quick. See, when I was searching for a list, I found an interesting idea. Deep in the YouTube algo, I stumbled upon something. A Dragapult list running the other Zoroark, the foul play one. Now before you roll your eyes, hear me out. My logic was simple. The Dragapult line, 10 cards. And Zoroark, 10 cards. Perfect swap. And to justify my poor decisions, it's still a dark type. And I'm already playing Hilda. Yes, I will default to Piper's list. The Darmanitan tech is truly an extra tool. It opens the door to multiple knockouts and punishes those energy dumping decks. But like dopamine, I can copy the attack of your Pokemon. I swear I'll change it back. To locals, game 1. Damn. Ignore basically everything I said. Maybe I'll just leave the deck building to the professionals.
Leave me alone!
For those that don't know, Festival Lead is a series of Stage 1 Pokemon that revolve around the stadium festival ground. They get the perks that when a Pokemon with Festival Lead are in the active zone, well, Diplin and Seaking can swing twice, and Thwackey can search anything. Miserable. I neither have Cornerstone nor the Darmanitan to help me play. All I could do is pray that their cards are prized. It's rough. All her Pokemon hit me for weakness, and they only need 1 energy. 0-1. Game 2, no recording. I faced a new player to the game. They got into the game because of their kids. Still, Mega Kangaskhan is nothing to laugh at. Run Aaron, drawing 2, all attached to a Pokemon that can do base 200 damage is still scary. And then being a basic that just gets benefits for existing is wild. My starting hand was pretty strong though, compared to their start. They opened Latias EX and Monkey. I put into play my Pokemon and then fired the Iono, drawing the Zoroarks and Energy. Attach and pass. They said Kangaskhan and pass. I hoped that they'd switch their Pokemon earlier, but I think they forgot about Latias's effect. Coincidentally, that ended up saving them in the long run. I couldn't drag the Kangaskhan out. Kangaskhan finally attacked, taking out my heavily poisoned Dogi. No. There was excitement in my voice when I had the opportunity to explain to an inexperienced player how Night Joker works. This was their first time seeing End Zoroark, so showing them Virtuous Flame for the low price of 2 dark, that left her speechless. They swing, coin flip, heads. Coin flip, tails. Crisis averted. The shock and joy in explaining that Zoroark considers its own damage counters for the calculations of Reshiram's attack, that was joy. That game was a fun time. Meeting new people is always a treat. It is nice to see parents not just show up to their kids' hobby, but actively participate in them. We chatted about the deck. They mentioned it was a scrap build and battle deck that, like myself, are too stubborn to let go of. I don't know. I mean, something about a favorite Pokemon just has a chokehold on people. They like dark and psychic types, so I suggested the Mega Gengar deck. Let me know what you would have suggested. Game 3, the dog box. Different pilot, same archetype. I'm ready for the run back. If only my starters were better. What is this? On the contrary, they had a banger start. Damn, this is gonna be a struggle, especially with the poor draw. But remember, strong mental. I'm seeing it through. They still have to take all prize cards, so I attach and retreat. Sorry Reshiram, you're gonna die. My win con? Buy myself time. Waste their resources by making them switch. Unfortunately, they have resources to spare and they find the Flareon and play a switch. Yveltal and the gang are becoming more and more popular. This will urge people to bring countermeasures like playing switch. They play the Rock Candy, an Energy, and switch up for the first knockout. Thank you Reshiram, you allowed me to flip the script into a basic, a Zora and a Dream. They answer and flex the energies with the Torrential taking out my Zora. Flip the script 2, the sequel! Learning from my last defeat, I prepped a backup attacker and moved Yveltal, especially since the Wellspring Mask has no energies. Well, never mind, they have Kieran. Thank you Foul Play for copying Carnelian. I still forget trade, but the A-Spec is gone. Threat neutralized. I'm glad I took my time and forced them to switch, making them work extra hard for that active spot. It comes together when they're just shy from a 3 prize knockout. Torrential does 100 to the active and 120 to the bench. They realize their mistake and fall back. Thanking their kindness, I put a Fez back into my hand and play it carefully, passing to them. I want to stay at this prize count because I have counter catches in the deck. The plan is a clean 2-2 trade. Sheesh. I sound better, just listen to me planning ahead. Forcing them to attach the balloon on the Noctowl, and with that they misplay the energy requirement on the Flareon. And now that Zoroark is on top, I have to be very careful. The Flareon is powered up and ready to roll with the attachment. They just need to find the lightning energy, so I boss up the Noctowl hoping to waste their attach for turn so that they can let me smack with rage. I Night Joker for a powerful rage, dealing 0. I don't want to knock it out. They Crispin, but they have to add it to hand. I did it! They use their energies. I believe their win con is E-switch for Flareon. I am so terrified, so I boss up again. Now if they want the knockout, they have to find a way to switch and move the energy. Time is called. Draw. Let's go! From losing to tying. Progress. 1-1-1. Game 4 I couldn't record. It was against a junior. And well, it wasn't Grim. It was instead Jelly Guardy. And running a deck full of dark types? Well, I killed him. I felt kind of bad though, because as I was just beating them with Zoroark over and over, they kind of looked at their hand and said, I think I just lose, and scooped in a very sad tone. I'm genuinely happy with my improvement. This time around, I really focused on taking my time and planning my plays. Some of the matches were just unfortunate, but I'm glad that I bounced back after such a terrible defeat. At least I accepted that there was nothing better I could have done with my given tools. I'm proud of the way that I held myself against the dog box. I was super happy. In that match, I planned ahead, I developed my own win con in real time, and I gotta admit, having Palpad in the catchers really gave me a sense of options. But on that note, I have to get into the habit of letting go of cards. Trade is so good, too good to miss. But since I run a lot of 1-ofs and 2-ofs, to me, every card feels too special to give up. I think there are some videos out there explaining the thought process on discarding cards, so I'll have to hit them up. I'll take time to understand the purpose of cards and how they interact with each other. Seeing Piper's responses really showed me that there is levels to this type of knowledge, a level that I'm barely scratching. But with that, I want to dedicate some time to understanding deck building and formulas. I linked an article that I found very interesting. This is with anticipation of Grimsley's move. I want to test its capabilities. I just feel like there's a ratio of dark Pokemon that allows Grimsley to be more often than not beneficial. Thank you again everyone who enjoyed my last video. Look forward to more episodes, and again, thank you. Bye bye.